Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another spring nail set. This one is kind of an ocean inspired set. Here's the inspo picture, so let's just get right into the tutorial. I'm going to start by trimming down my natural nails so that none of them peek underneath the extensions. It's not completely necessary to do this, but I personally like to do this as my first step. But if you're trying to grow out your natural nails, you don't have to. Next, I'm filing the natural nail to smooth out any jagged edges from clipping. I'm using a 180 grit hand file, but you could also use a glass hand file if you want to be more gentle with your natural nails. But I'm just going to work with what I have on hand. Now we're moving on to the cuticle prep. I'm using the Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Remover. I apply a small amount to the cuticle area and let it sit for about 10 seconds. Then I gently push back my cuticles with a metal cuticle pusher to remove that dead skin from the nail plate. This step is super important for good retention. You could also do dry cuticle prep with a drill bit, but I prefer this method because it's more beginner friendly. And once you're done, make sure you wash your hands with soap and water. After that, I'm going to trim the excess skin around my cuticles. This step is totally optional and doesn't affect retention if you do not do it, but I like to do it for a cleaner, more polished look. These are the nail extensions I'm going to be using today. These are the Gel-X sculpted long square nail tips from Apres. I'm going to start by sizing them out so that they fit my nail from sidewall to sidewall. As you can see, this one overlaps onto my skin a bit, so it's definitely too big. I'm going to size down until I find the one that fits perfectly from edge to edge. Not too snug, just a perfect fit. So I'm going to be using this one and sizing the rest of my nails the same way. I'm also going to be sizing them all the way up to the cuticle, so I'm not leaving a gap or anything like that because I'm not going to be doing an overlay. And once everything is sized out, I'm going to get my drill at around 5,000 RPM, and I'm going to be using a small sanding band to etch the inside of the extensions. I prefer to use these smaller sanding bands because they get into the curves of the extensions more easily, and this step is going to add texture so that the gel can adhere better and give better grip. Now I'm taking a buffing block and lightly buffing the surface of my natural nails to remove the shine and add a bit of texture. You could also use a sanding band for this step as well to speed things up, but since I do my nails so often, I like to be more on the gentle side to avoid overfiling, so these little buffing blocks work perfectly for me. After that, I'm dusting everything off and going in with my protein bond from Sweetie Nail Supply. This acts as a dehydrator and bonding agent. It helps remove oils and improve adhesion. I'm applying that to each nail and letting it air dry. You can follow that up with your favorite primer or go straight in with the Jello Peel Off Base Coat. I'm using this so that I can remove my nails more easily later on, but if you're looking for a longer lasting set, I'd skip this and go in with your nail glue instead. I'm going to show you exactly the one I'm using in the next clip. But for now, I'm applying 2 coats of the Jello Peel Off Base Coat, curing for 60 seconds in between each layer. This is the nail glue I'll be using. It's the Strong Nail Base and Balancing Clear Gel from Diami. It works as both a nail glue and an overlay gel, and it has a really thick consistency, which I love. So if you're not using a peel-off base coat, go in with a layer of this on your nails and cure it fully. To apply my extensions, I'm going to be using a gooseneck nail lamp from a cart so I can cure each nail in place. I'm coating the backside of the extension with the gel and then adding a small bead near the base. I apply the tip at around a 45-degree angle from the cuticle, letting the gel flow down towards the free edge. And once it's fully covered, I flash cure it under my lamp for about 15 seconds to hold it in place. Then I just repeat the same process on the rest of my nails, apply the gel, place at a 45-degree angle, let it flow, and flash cure. If you notice any air bubbles, remove the tip right away, clean it off, and reapply. You don't want to cure any bubbles as this can lead to lifting. The same goes for any gel going onto your skin. Make sure you fix that before curing to avoid any issues later on. Once you're done flash curing, you'll want to place your hand in a full-sized nail lamp to fully cure the gel. The gooseneck nail lamp is not strong enough for a complete cure, so make sure everything is fully set using a full-sized nail lamp. I like to cure it for about 90 seconds. Next, I'm going back in with my drill at around 7,000 RPM. Using a small sanding band, I'm gently blending the cuticle area into my natural nail. I'm working really lightly here and keeping the bit parallel to my nail at all times. These extensions are already pretty thin at the cuticle, so I didn't need to do much, just a few light passes. If your cuticle area is bulkier, you might want to use a grittier sanding band to remove more product and blend more seamlessly. I'm also lightly etching the surface of my extensions to remove the shine and add some texture so that the gel adheres better. I'm focusing mainly on the sides and the tips, since those areas are more prone to lifting. Then I'm going in with a hand file to redefine the shape of the tips and clean everything up. After that, I'm wiping everything down with some rubbing alcohol to remove the dust and any oils. I'll also take a little bit of acetone on an oval brush and melt the extensions into my natural nails. This will help create a more seamless finish, and it's honestly one of my favorite steps. Now for the base color, I'm using How Do You Neutral from D&D. The inspo picture had a bit more of a pinkish undertone in the base, but I felt like going for this shade today. I applied about 4 thin coats to build the opacity, curing for 60 seconds in between each layer, and this is what it looked like after the 4th coat. Next, I'm using this shade from Madame Glam called Honeycomb. I'm applying a bit onto my glass palette and using a 20mm liner brush to create my French tips. I start by fully saturating my brush so that the polish flows smoothly, and then I start mapping out where I want my French to begin. So I draw a line and then create a soft V shape down the center and connect that line I first formed to the V shape, and that'll create my crisp French tip. And once the shape is in place, I go ahead and fill it in using the bottle brush and my liner brush to get into all the corners. I'm doing the exact same thing on my pinky as well. And for the white polish, I'm using a Valentino Beauty Pure white polish. It's highly pigmented and really opaque, which makes it perfect for white Frenchies. Again, I'm using my 20mm liner brush. I quickly cleaned off my brush with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, let it dry, and then go in with my white gel polish. Same technique, map the line, create the V, connect those lines together, and fill it in. And quick side note, I know a lot of you have been requesting a polygel set, and it's been a while since I've done a tutorial like that. I've honestly just been doing this Gel X method a lot lately since it's quicker and one of my most requested tutorials, but I hear you guys and my next video will definitely be a polygel set. Next, I'm going to go in with these 2 blue shades from Madame Glam, Electric Denim and April Mist. April Mist is a glittery turquoise from their spring collection, and that's what I'll be using first. I start by applying another layer of the white gel polish to my thumb French tip, and I'm not going to cure this. Instead, I'm going to leave it uncured and wet. So while it's still wet, I pick up April Mist on a small 6mm liner brush and begin creating that seashell-like lines. You could also use an ombre brush or whatever you have just to speed this up, but I want it to be a little bit more precise, so I went ahead and stuck with this shorter liner brush to give me more controlled strokes. Having that wet white base underneath helps the design blend out nicely and gives it more of that soft dimensional look. Just make sure you clean up any polish on your skin with acetone before curing. You never want to cure gel polish on your skin. The inspo picture didn't have glitter in the turquoise, but this shade does have a subtle sparkle. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but I thought it was really pretty anyways, and it was a nice addition. For my index finger, I'm applying a blooming gel over my French tip, making sure to coat it evenly around the French. And then I take Electric Denim, which is the darkest blue that I have, and I take it on a dotting tool and place small dots in a floral pattern across the nail. Let it bloom for about 10 to 15 seconds. Don't wait too long, and also don't take too long to dot on the florals, or it'll spread too much or spread unevenly. I like to lightly clean up the edges with a lint-free wipe as well before I go ahead and cure the design, just to maintain the shape. I'm also going to be taking that denim blue and lightly sponging it onto parts of my French, mainly around the edges and the base of my ring finger. I was kind of just following the inspo picture and basically just adding some depth and a little bit of contrast where it felt right. And I was really just improvising the areas I should sponge on this blue, curing for 60 seconds in between each layer. But once I've got that color in place, I'm going to go ahead and start creating my 3D flowers using a 3D white gel from a cart. I picked it up with a metal cuticle pusher and rolled it out onto a small glass palette and divided it into 5 equal size pieces. Then I placed them onto my ring finger and gently shaped them into petals to form my flower. You want to apply the most pressure in the center of the flower so that the edges of the petals lift and keep that rounded shape. Then I gently dragged those petals outward to create a more defined and pointed look. And I used the tip of my tool to sharpen and redefine those edges. Once you like how it looks, go ahead and fully cure it for 90 seconds. After that, I dab a little bit of the dark blue onto my flower and fully cured it for 60 seconds. Next, I'm going in with a super fine 12mm liner brush. I actually trimmed most of the bristles off of this brush to make it ultra thin for really detailed work. And using that, I'm adding some delicate blue line work over the flowers, just placing it wherever it feels balanced. This part is mostly freehand. I'm just kind of going with what looks good and creating those subtle floral veins. Then I take my dotting tool and go back in with honeycomb, which is the yellow polish I used for some of my French tips. And I placed small dots around the edges of my flowers using that yellow. And once I was happy with the placement, I fully cured everything. Now for the charms, I'm using a mix of these gold ocean themed charms, along with some bubble beads and some gold caviar beads. To adhere them, I'm using the Crazy Top Standard Gel. If you've watched my videos before, you already know I use the thick version of this all the time, but today I went ahead with the standard. I apply the gel where I want my charms to go, then place everything into position. On my thumb, I'm adding a starfish along with a few caviar beads and some bubble beads, leaving some space for a 3D shell design I'll be adding later. I flash cure each section for about 10 seconds to hold everything in place so that nothing slides around. And on my index finger, I'm placing caviar beads in the center of the flower along the top edge as well. And for my middle, I'm adding a seashell charm with a few bubble beads in the corner, along with a few caviar beads along the French tip, and I cured that in place. For my index finger, I decided to add a gold seashell charm with some bubble beads in the corner, plus caviar beads in the center of the flower, and some near the very tip of my nail. And on my pinky, I kept it simple with just a few caviar beads and one bubble bead in the corner. Once everything was in place, I went ahead and fully cured my nails for 60 seconds to make sure everything was fully set. And then I went in with my top coat to seal everything in, especially those caviar beads and small charms. And this just really helps lock everything into place and prevents them from chipping or tarnishing over time. Now for the 3D details, I'm using the thicker version of the Crazy Top Gel with a liner brush to create those seashell textures and patterns, and basically all those raised 3D designs. For the seashell, I built it line by line, flash curing each stroke after adding the next, and I ended up doing about 5 lines in total, slightly offset each time to create that layered shell effect. It's very important to cure in between each stroke to make sure that none of them move out of place. On the other nails, I added a few 3D accents like diagonal raised lines and small bubble details along the edges. I flash cured those as well and then did a full cure for 60 seconds once I was done with everything. And to finish everything off, I'm applying some cuticle oil This is the peach scented cuticle oil and it smells amazing. It helps rehydrate my nails and surrounding skin and gives everything a nice finish. And here are the finished nails. I'm honestly obsessed. They feel perfect for the transition into the warmer weather. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!